As Claudia has drifted to the dark side, fans of the Dragon Prince have wondered how far she is willing to go. What is she willing to do? How many people is she willing to hurt? When we first meet her, early in Season 1, she is silly and ridiculous. Her willingness to use dark magic raises definite red flags, but she does certainly not seem actively malevolent. Callum does not think of her as a bad person. Instead, he cares about her, and he's in love with her. He's been in love with her ever since they were kids, and if you asked him if they were going to get together in the future, he would probably say yes. They laugh, and they open up to each other. Their rapport is fantastic. But as the series has progressed, she has taken step after step after step toward darkness. Her use of dark magic has slowly consumed her. This is physically manifested by her hair turning white. When she chooses to heal Soren near the end of Season 2, only one lock of her hair turns white. But it is a start. This demonstrates that while her healing Soren may be understandable and even laudable in isolation, it is, in the context of her entire character arc, a problem. It is a harbinger of things to come. It's a sign that there is nothing she is not willing to do to get her way. They say in the show a lot that dark magic is a shortcut, but the jury's still out on that. What it definitely is something akin to a deal with the devil. You're given great power, but in return, it destroys your soul. It deteriorates you, even as you have the ability to do almost anything to further your ambitions. This deal with the devil element of it is most evident in the tale of Viren and Eryth. But it is clear, even when there is not a distinct malevolent force providing the temptation, dire circumstances are temptation enough. Claudia has the opportunity to leave with her brother at the midpoint of Season 3. Viren, their father, has just turned his troops into a horde of mindless dark magic zombies. Soren has been skeptical of Viren for a long time, and the skepticism is only forwarded in Season 3 by how Viren continues to manipulate and gaslight him. The great and triumphant ending would have been for Claudia to join Soren and for the two of them to become a part of Team Callum. All would have been right with the world, but it would have been too easy. It would have ignored the differences between the two of them. Unlike Soren, who has never received his father's approval, Claudia has always been the golden child. The separation between them is even demonstrated early in the season. When Soren correctly claims that Viren wanted him to kill the princes if they weren't dead, Viren responds that he said no such thing, and Claudia takes Viren's side. From her perspective, this is not, strictly speaking, unjustifiable. Soren is, after all, something of a dolt, and Claudia tends to believe that Viren is in the right. She believes he is misunderstood by those who do not comprehend what needs to be done in order to create a more peaceful and prosperous world. So she sides with Viren, and that choice seals her fate in the minds of many fans. She continues to act immorally throughout the rest of the season. She leads Viren's army against Team Callum and company, using the strange, dark magic-infested scepter Viren and Eryth stole from the Sunfire Elves to bolster her power. At the end of the season, Viren appears to be dead, and all appears to be right with the world, but this is not the case. In one last haunting scene, Claudia resurrects Viren. She uses dark magic to turn back death. Despite this immeasurably valuable act, Viren does not much care about her. He thinks about her only briefly before focusing on his little bug pal. An optimistic person could think that this would be enough to convince Claudia that Viren does not really care about her, and that this could drive a wedge between father and daughter. But Claudia is already so far gone. If she is going to be redeemed, and if she is going to leave Viren's side, something much stronger than anything that has hitherto happened is going to need to come between them. Claudia's very sense of self is going to need to be shaken if she is to abandon Viren. Some have said that after everything Claudia has done, going so far as to conjure an illusion of Viren, to kill Ezrin, even though Ezrin was nothing but decent to her and her brother, she should not be redeemed. They say she's gone too far. But I don't really believe this. Unless she actually kills one of the major characters, it's possible to do a redemption arc for her. As long as the arc takes the time and the energy to clarify exactly why Claudia changed her mind. And as long as the arc makes the process of her changing sides organic, so that we see her view of the world slowly but substantially shift. Then there's another group that says it would be kind of silly to do a redemption arc with Claudia now, considering she has only been a villain for less than half a season. And I agree with this. Sure, one could argue that she's a villain from the start of the series, but that's more a case of her being structurally opposed to our protagonists, but not really an evil person. She's not really a villain in the traditional sense of the word. She only really becomes that in the aftermath of her refusing to leave with Soren. Having Claudia redeemed early in Season 4, rather than taking the opportunity to have her reckon with the consequences of her actions and explore this new, darker side of herself, would be cheap. It would be the equivalent of those very special episodes of cheesy 80s and 90s shows where a character would do something morally questionable, only to see all the other characters react like they've become Satan himself. Then, by the end of the episode, the character is so sorry, and everything has returned to normal, and everyone acts like nothing actually happened. No moral complexity, no lingering after effects. All is forgiven. The difference between a good Descent into Darkness arc and a bad Descent into Darkness arc is that the good arc takes time to, number one, explore exactly why the character does what they do, and number two, the complicated and often unexpected effects of their actions on others. I don't want to say Claudia hasn't done bad things she should feel sorry for, things for which she should seek redemption. She absolutely has done these things. But she has not done enough of them, and she has not done them for long enough to make for an effective redemption arc unless we spend more time on her descent into darkness and how she characterizes herself as she descends further into villainy. In fact, I believe she will become the main villain of the show at one point. She will be completely surrounded by darkness. Because of where she started, and because of how she tends to justify her actions, she makes for a much more interesting antagonist than either Viren or Erebos. But I do believe she will be redeemed, and I do believe that this is the right choice. Dragon Prince showrunner Aaron Haas always wanted to do an Azula redemption arc while he was the head writer of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the similarities between Claudia and Azula are obvious. They both seek a recognition from their tyrannical fathers, even as they plunge deeper into madness, while their brothers, whom they had thought of as idiots, achieve redemption. As for why I believe a redemption arc should happen, it's because it fits the ethos of the show, which is about breaking the cycle of violence and choosing mercy over vengeance. Soren redeems himself, Rayla redeems herself, Ezran as a king usually chooses mercy over stone-cold retribution, as does Rayla when she has the choice to either spare Nyx's life or kill her. Consistently, characters in The Dragon Prince choose mercy. It would thus make sense for an important character to have the opportunity to kill Claudia after all the horrible things she's done, but this character instead chooses to have mercy on Claudia, and Claudia responds by redeeming herself and achieving a clear sense of who she is and who she really wants to be. So thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can, and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince. It is a brilliant and thoughtful show, and it is only getting better as time progresses. I can't wait for the next few seasons. Claudia is just a devastating, haunted character. I can't wait to see what the show does with her. Will she be redeemed, or will she suffer in madness and grief and despondency? I can't wait to find out. So tune in soon for the next analysis. It will be coming soon, or at least soon-ish. Thank y'all again. Adios, comrades.